online class. Today, the zoology class. The 12th chapter that is called Human Health and Disease. The human health and disease. It's a very important topic because health is most important. So many diseases are come to attacking us. We have health only, we prevented the diseases. So health is most important. Today, the world is facing most dangerous disease COVID-19. There is no medicine. But however, our healthy body or immune system only protect the disease. The peoples are recovering from the diseases. So that is, even though no medicine, the health is very important. Whenever we maintaining the health, we prevented the disease. So in this chapter, what is health and what are the diseases? How to maintain the health and what are the diseases are affected us and we maintain our health to preventing the disease. These are all we are going to discuss about in this chapter. Okay, let us see the next one, the introduction. The first of all, we are going to see about the health. What is meant by health? The WHO, that is World Health Organization, defined that the health is a physical, mentally and socially well-being, not merely absence of a disease. That is called health. This means what? If one person is there, for example, take myself. If not any disease affected to us means I am considered as healthy is not alone. I am mentally, physically and socially without any problem to myself, then only I am a healthy person. For example, I am a teacher. I am going to a school, working there without any problem in the school. And I am living in my town. There is no quarrel between the neighbors. That only healthy. So healthy means physically, mentally and socially fit. Then only we consider as a healthy. This is definition given by the WHO. Okay, next. We can also say the health is wealth. It's a proverb. The health is most important thing. If healthy people, they are work effective in their work, then the healthy is reduce the mortality of adult and even the children. You know, a small child, some children are immediately dead because of health problem. If a good health is there, then the child is not dead. So that health is reduce the mortality rate even though adult and as well as children. The next is, how can we maintain the good health? The good health is very important to us. Then only we prevented all the diseases. How to maintain the good health? We taking a balanced nutrients, and second, we do a regular exercise and personal hygiene. That means the cleanness of the body. These three tips we have to maintaining. Then we maintaining the good health. Whenever those who are maintaining the good health, those who are prevented from the diseases, no necessary to taking any medicines that help to prevent all kind of diseases. Okay. The next, we are going to see the common disease in human being. There are so many diseases are affected the human being. That is called diseases. So, first of all, we are going to see about the what about diseases definition. The disease means the disorder or malfunctioning of body or mind. That means, suppose today I am affected with cold, I am not working properly. Or any problem in my body, I am not working properly. So, mind or body affected or any organ affected, that condition is called the diseases. Mostly the diseases are involving in, for example, see, the morphological, physiological and psychological disturbance will be occurred. Morphology means our body problem. Then physiological means our organs working may be problem. Supposed to be affected cold, our breathing system or our respiratory system is not properly work. That is physiological disturbance. And the psychological, if even though we are affected cold means, suppose I am affected in cold, I am not properly teaching in the class because teaching is my profession. So the disease means may be affected morphological or physiological, the functioning of the body, or psychological. Psychological is our mood is not good to doing that work. So this all these conditions involved in the diseases. Okay, these issues may be caused how to come to a person. It may become to a person due to the environmental factor. What's meant by environmental factor? Our surrounding factor is called environmental factor. For example, in summer, too hot is there, the temperature affected us, we are not properly working. Or in winter, too cold, that time we are getting the cold or not, we are properly working. That also environmental factor. So environmental factor may be going to be disturbance, the person is not able to do the work, that is also called the disease. And next one you see there, pathogen. The many pathogens may be enter in our body. For example, virus, bacteria, so many microbes are there. These may be enter in our body through the food or maybe drinking water or by air is getting inside in our body. Our body is affected. This is another causes. And the genetic abnormalities, that is the genetic abnormalities means any problem in the genes or chromosomes here affected a disease that is called genetic disorder. It is most uncurable diseases, but today there is a solution is there, only a gene therapy. Through this gene therapy, these diseases may be curable, but it is too much of cost. And then our lifestyle changes. Yes, today the modern world, we are changing our food style and so many changes are occurring. These food style changes only causes the disease for us. So these are the causes of disease. There are four causes fundamentally: environmental causes, pathogens, and genetic abnormalities and lifestyle changes. This may be causes as the diseases. Okay. Then next. For example, in generally the diseases are broadly classified into two disease types. One is called infectious disease, another one is called non-infectious disease. Okay, what is mean by infectious disease? A disease which are transmitted from one person to another person is called infectious disease, or otherwise it is called communicable diseases. Okay, it's spreading from one person to another. Okay, for example, such disease causing organisms are called the pathogen. Okay, these communicable diseases are not automatically comes. The microbes may be coming to our body only, these diseases come. But the disease comes to, for example, mice cells, not only mice cells, is spreading to the neighbor one. This communicable is produced by the pathogens, produced by pathogen. Pathogen means microbes are produced. And these communicable diseases are transmitted from one person to another person by through the air, water, and food and physical contact and vector. For example, if one person has a TB, this is infectious disease, he may be cough. What will happen? The microbes are spreading into the hair. The neighboring person, healthy person is there inhaling this hair, the microbes automatically going to the neighboring person, he will affected as a TB. So this is transmitted by the hair. Next one, the water. Suppose the water may be contaminated, the water microbes may be consisting, that water we are drinking automatically spreading from water to us. This is another communicable. It's another agent. Then by food, if the food is contaminated, suppose we are food are keep into the table, is uncovered food, what will happen? The flies are come to sitting on the food. So what happened? The microbes are in the legs of fly come to attach with the food. Whenever we eat the food, that disease or the microbes are transmitted from the food to us, and we are affected as a disease. And third one, the physical contact. Yes, if one person is already a common cold or any disease are there, he using a towel. That towel are used by other person. Or for example, a best example I tell you, for example, madrasai. The madrasai are produced in large scale in the school children. Suppose one madrasai child is there, he is touching the eyes and automatically touching the bends are everywhere. If a neighboring person come to contact with that person, these virus may be spreading to the one child to another child. Automatically the madrasai is produced to or spreading to all the children. So this is the example for physical contact. The last one we see the vector. Vector is nothing but a small organism spreading a disease to one person to another person. For this, the best example is malaria. If one person having the malaria, it's spreading to another person by biting of the mosquito. that is called female anopheles mosquito, biting the infected person and go to bite the healthy person. These plasmodium transmitted from the unhealthy person, I mean affected person or infected person to healthy person. So like the transmission is called by vectors. Okay. Next, the disease causing pathogen. So the disease, these infected disease caused by the pathogen are microbes. These pathogen or microbes are classified into so many types. That is called, one is the virus, and second is called the bacteria, and third one is called fungi, and protozoan parasite and helminth parasite. These are all the pathogen which causes the diseases. In this, the virus is most dangerous and compared to the bacterial disease, and fungal disease also there. For example, helminth parasite means worms. For example, ascaris worm is getting entered into our intestine. We are getting an abdominal pain and severe fever. Everything is comes. That is called helminth parasite. These are all the pathogen which is reason for causing the communicable disease. Okay. Then the infected disease are common. Everyone suffer from such a disease. Or time or other time. Yes, the infected disease is spreading. For example, now taking COVID-19 is produced from the China, okay, the Wuhan city, but it's spread over all over the world. So infected diseases are spreading on directly at that time or some other time it's spreading all other areas. So that the communicable disease also called as a pandemic disease. Okay. The next, for example, the most of the bacterial diseases are curable because the bacteria is not more dangerous one. It can be cured easily, but the viral diseases are not cured easily because the viruses are more dangerous particle when compared to the bacteria. Because the machinery mechanism and spreading of the disease, everything, the virus is most dangerous when compared to the bacteria. So the bacterial disease we can easily curable, but viral disease can't cure very easily. Okay. Then we see some infected disease. Already all of you very well know the AIDS. It's a very fatal produced by the HIV virus, is a retrovirus. If the AIDS may be caused by the virus, the disease is not curable, it may be fatal. And so many dangerous diseases are also there. Okay. Next, we are going to move about the non-infected diseases. Okay. And this non-infected disease is not produced by pathogen or microbe. Okay. See, it is not transmitted from one person to other person. For example, it's not transmitted from the infected person to healthy person. That means one person is get a non-infected disease. The disease is not spreading to the neighbor or other. That is why it's called non-infected disease. Okay. The non-infected disease, how to comes? How to it's originated in the human body? Already we see the infected disease caused by pathogens or some environmental factor or genetical factor like that. But now we see this one. These non-communicable disease may be origin or may be produced in the human being by first of all a genetic reason. A genetic reason means a disorder of the gene or chromosomal problem. Any one person getting a disease, the disease is called genetic disease. For example, the genetic diseases are cystic fibrosis. In the disease, the person gets his lungs, digestive tract, everything is affected. But this is not transmitted to other person. For example, even though take a genetic disease, sickle cell anemia. Okay, the sickle cell anemia is affected. That means the heart is getting into sickle cell. The hemoglobin is converted from normal to abnormal. So those persons get a sickle cell anemia, the hemoglobin pigment may be changed. As a result, the oxygen transport in the body is not proper. So that sickle cell anemia not transmitted to another person. That kind of disease live in one person alone only, not going to another person. That is a genetic disorder. Next, these non-infectious disease may be come by a nutritional problem. Suppose the person is not taking a balanced diet or proper nutrition. For example, vitamin deficiency disease we can say. One person not properly taking vitamin A, he caused by a nyctalopia or night blindness disease are come. But this nyctalopia night blindness is not spreading to others or neighboring person because he only or she only not taking correct diet, he only affected or she only affected, not spreading to others. Then the third is the degenerative cases. Degenerative means destruction will occur in our body. For example, three kinds of example of disease are here. One is called arthritis. Arthritis means, for example, knee pain. The knee pain is automatically come because in the knee the two bones are rubbed each other. There may be erosion will occur. The pain will be started. That is called degenerative disease. Next one, see, heart attack is will become. Okay. And third one is a stroke. Okay. These are all the degenerative disease. In heart attack, the heart is suddenly blocked. For example, stroke, one leg and hand is not getting working properly. That is called paralyzed will become. That is called stroke. The stroke is main reason for the blood vessel which is going to the cerebrum may be blocked. So blood supply not properly occur in the brain. Suppose the brain is divided into left brain and right brain. If the blood flow is not going to the right brain, the left side will be affected. The blood is not going to the left brain, then right side will be affected. That one side of the leg and hand is not working, losing their function, that is called the stroke. And these are all called the degenerative diseases. These are all the non-infectious diseases. Suppose one person getting in a stroke is not going to the neighboring person. And also heart attack comes to one person not going to the neighboring person. These are all non-infectious diseases because it is not the cause by the microorganism. It is so many other reasons. But those persons affected within that person only the disease alive, not going to the others. Okay. And let us see that among these non-infectious disease, the cancer is one of the causes of death. Yes, the cancer is produced by uncontrolled growth of the cell. There is so many reasons tell about the cancers. For example, smoking is the most dangerous. Even though today food style or pollen grain, these are the reasons for the cancer. If a cancer comes, the person, there is no curing for the cancer, only the life will be extended, that's all. But the person will be died definitely. Okay, that cancer is non-infectious, but it is the most fatal one that is mentioned here. So these about the infectious and non-infectious disease. Okay. The next we are, let us see about the human diseases are broadly classified into 5 types. For example, we see the bacterial disease, viral disease, fungal disease, protozoal disease, and helminthic diseases. First of all, we see the bacterial disease. The first disease is called dysentery. If any contaminated food or water we may be drinking, the pathogen may be enter in our intestine or affected our intestine, we getting in dysentery and severe stomach pain will come. This is called the dysentery. Then we see the plague. The plague, there are 2 types, pneumonic plague and bubonic plague. It is mostly spreading by a rat flea from one person to other person. It will be causes the severe fever to us. That is called the plague. And third one is called the diphtheria. It's a kind of fever. It is caused by the droplet infection. The third one we see the cholera. This cholera also spreading by the contaminated water and food. They are drinking the contaminated water or food is affected the cholera. If the cholera, maybe vomiting will become, nausea and fever that will become. Then the typhoid. The typhoid also caused by contaminated water. Is a heavy fever comes. Okay. Then pneumonia. Okay. The pneumonia is spreading by a droplet infection. The lungs will be affected. Inflammation of lungs are occur. Severe fever will come. That kind of pneumonia. Let us see the next one. Viral disease. It's the most first one we see the common cold. It is produced by the rhinovirus. It is also spreading one person to another person by droplet infections. And second, we see the mumps. The mumps are nothing but the parotid glands are swelling. This is also spreading by the droplet infections. The third one is called measles. The measles are red rashes are come on the skin and heavy fever also come. This is also spreading one person to another person by droplet infection. Then we see the viral hepatitis is most dangerous disease. In this what happened, for example, the liver are completely damaged. You know, the liver is very important to our body. It is called it is maintaining our body because it's filtering all the toxic substances. These hepatitis are caused by virus or hepatitis also caused by bacteria. It's how to spreading. It's spreading from mother to child, or even though the blood transfusion from one person to another person, it is a deadly disease. And see the next one, dengue fever is a kind of fever. Okay, it is a very dangerous one. See, because in this blood transfusion may be needed. In this dengue fever spreading by Aedes mosquitoes. Then also see the chikungunya, this kind of disease, and joint pains will be coming with this chikungunya. It is also spreading from one person to another person by Aedes mosquito. The next one we see the chickenpox. The chickenpox is a small rashes come on the skin, is spread to one person to another person by a droplet infection. This kind of viral disease. Then poliomyelitis is also spreading by droplet infection. Poliomyelitis come, the legs are completely destroyed. You can see the childs are lost their legs. Okay, this is kind of a poliomyelitis. Then we see the fungal disease. First of all, we see the candidiasis. The candidiasis are wound or will be occur in the mouth and as well as vaginal part. Then hydrated foods is also caused by fungus, which is caused in the food. In the food, the lesions will become, that is called hydrated foods. The next category is the protozoan disease. The first most is called malaria. Is a very dangerous disease. The malaria caused by plasmodium microbes and is transmitted from one person to another person by Anopheles mosquito, such kind of infected disease. The next is called amoebiasis. It is caused by a Entamoeba histolytica. This protozoan may enter into our intestine through the contaminated water. As a result, we are getting an amoebiasis. That means a dysentery along with the blood stool will go out. That is called amoebiasis. Next one, see the African sleeping sickness. These kind of diseases are transmitted to one person to another person by T-spray. T-spray is bite to the infected person, go to the bite to the healthy person, automatically the disease is transmitted from unhealthy person to a healthy person. They are getting a sickness of sleeping. Okay. Then last one is a Kala Azar. It is kind of a fever. It is also a protozoal disease. Is transmitted from one person to another person by a sandfly. The sandfly bite to the one person, that means infected person, and go to bite the healthy person. Automatically, that protozoan transmitted from unhealthy person to healthy person, they are getting as a disease called Kala Azar. Then finally, we go to see the helminthic parasite. That means worms. First of all, we go to the Ascaris, is a kind of worm. This worm embryo may be present on the water. The child go to playing in the water. Okay, that time we touching in the hands. These embryo may be enter into the mouth of the child and getting inside the intestine. Going to the intestine, these embryo may hatches out and these ascaris worm may become out and causes a severe discomfort in the intestine and abdominal pain and even the fever will become the kind of disease called ascariasis. The last one is called filariasis. This is called Wucheria brandti. These microbes are spreading to one person to another person by biting a mosquito. What will happen in this filariasis? The legs are completely inflamed, huge one, unable to walk. So these about the disease. Only I am some of the short of the disease only, but elaborately will be come on this chapter on next part. Let us give one introduction about this topic. Each and every disease, what is the causative agent, how it is spreading, what is the incubation time, what is the curing, how to spread, what are the body parts are affected, everything will be detailedly coming in this lesson. Let us explaining later. Okay. Then last we are going to move on to the worksheet. Okay. In this let us introduction topic, I given a worksheet for you. So I make it this one. First of all, what is a communicable disease? Can you answer this? And what is a non-communicable disease? And list out the bacterial diseases, and list out the viral diseases, and list out the protozoan diseases. Okay, dear students, let I give the introduction about this topic. What is health and disease? How to communicable and non-communicable disease? What are the list categories of disease? One day I tell you about this more detail about the each and every disease, how to spreading, what is the life cycle, what is the incubation period, how to affected your person, what is the problem will become, everything we move on to see the next video class. Thank you. Have a nice study, students.